Hello, everyone. Welcome to the extended team show here on the Blue Broad YouTube channel ahead of round 23 in the 2024 AFL season. It's 5 p.m. It is Thursday, the 15th of August, 2024. We are here to hang out amongst ourselves for about an hour and a half until teams drop. We're going to watch a few press conferences, chat amongst ourselves, pick ourselves up, I think, and get ready for a big round. We are proudly brought to you by Mr. Cabinets, and thank them very much for their support. Who's here? Who have we got? Firstly, we've got a new member of the channel, Amanda Wills. Welcome. Hello, Jesselly. Eleanor. It's going to be a tough one this week. Praying for a miracle. It's a bit like that. Yep. Caden, it's going to be so out of the norm. Kind of excited in a weird way. Yeah, I think I don't know. Is it unpredictable or is it predictable? I don't know how you look at it, but yeah, it's going to be fun. Richard, have some debutants. Well, we're definitely going to have one, maybe a couple. There's a few murmurings going around that Ashton Moyer might actually make his debut as well. So at 6:20, we will get extended teams, and then tomorrow we will get final teams. So let's just see what happens. Fermi, you were expecting more debutants to be announced this week. Yeah. Let's see. Zach Borg, we also need to bring in the best experienced players. We do. I don't know how many more there are, but we definitely do. No doubt about that. Matt Lang, you are here. Hello, mate. Danielle, hello. It's going to be interesting tonight. Watching Carlton could be like childbirth, excruciating, but you come back for more. I think I'm ready for Sunday. Excited to see what the youngsters have. Very good. Gorkan, Maz is here. James is here. Matt, been waiting for a Lemmy vid announcement to drop. Still haven't heard anything. Yeah, let's see. Hello, Naomi. Hello, Peter V. Damien. GM. We want Harry Lemmy. We do. Hey, Stephen. Georgina. Good to have you here. Hey, Says. Lucinda's here as well. Got Scott. We've got Smigoff. Season's not done. Let's back the boys. Yeah, season's not done. That's true. That's true. Thank you, mate. Yeah, I finally went and got a trim. To be honest with you, it was supposed to be a finals fade. And then I guess this is a final because the next time we lose, we will be out. So welcome to finals football. Hey, Jay. Hey, Zekai. Hello. Hello. Carl's. Got Lufalino, Robbie Varley. Got Jax here. So many of you here. So early. Jacinta. Lucinda. Apparently there's an extreme weather event on Saturday. Time for Dan Gorish to find football laws loopholes. Yeah. Macca, go Hawk. Fucking go Hawk indeed, mate. I've had nightmares about the Hawk all week. I have no idea about TDK, to be honest with you. Chris Yasu. Hello, mate. Scott, you did a live ladder predictor last night. You got us finishing 8th. There is still hope. Derek, Mr. Cabinets himself. Hello, mate. Good to have you here. James, Debbie, making avocado pesto sauce for fettuccine. Love that. Love that. Chichio, hey, mate. Slobbo, I missed you too. I did a lot. Jason, hey, mate. Hey, Frankie, you became a YouTube member. Love that. Mick, still can't believe West Coast are favourites. Oh, mate. How could you not laugh? Like, how can you not laugh at the situation we find ourselves in? Like, it's if you don't laugh, you will cry and you'll do your head in. I made a video depicting how I feel. I'm kind of considering whether or not to drop it, to be honest, but it's quite a downer. Just putting it all together and more promises, more words. But anyway, Jakey boy, hey mate, yeah, we're gonna move forward. Derek, 2 wins and we're in. Yeah, pretty sure we just need to win all our games, and that's us. Where did I get the cut? I got the cut. My boys on Chapel Street, Psalm 91, I think it's called. But yeah. Luca, we've got a long 6 months to be upset about what's happened in the last 6 weeks. If we don't make the final, let's embrace the position we're in and fire up for a big game. True. We can cry in the off season. That's true. Any Kool-Aid packets left? Oh, mate, I ordered all of them. There's too many. There's way too many. Thoughts on tonight's lineup? Whoever's available, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. Tim, you're still optimistic we can make finals and do damage? I am too. My fear is the boys will continue to do what they've done in the last 6 weeks and come up against sides who just continue to ask the question of them. And I think now more than ever, they've got an excuse that there are injuries and it can be a little bit too much. That's my fear. But my hope is that we are forced to go backs against the wall, play unpredictable. No one will know a lot about the players that are going to come in. I don't think we're going to even know about how these guys gel with each other. So that's the hope and the fear, I guess, that I have going into this game. I do see it a lot clearly on both sides. Think in the last, probably the Hawthorn game, I think after Collingwood, I was still fully believing, and I think slowly but surely, the more I look back, the more I realized somewhere along the line, 7 weeks ago, the standards just dropped a bit. The hunger, the desperation, the work rate, not at the same level that it was. And so can you find that again? Yeah, you can. Let's just see. Let's just see how they go. Libo JR gifted 5 Blue Abroad memberships. If you are one of the 5 that received one of those, please make sure you say thank you, because that's very nice. Did I hear the audio from Russell that surfaced about pushing the players to the limit? I did. Yeah, I did. I think it doesn't sound good. I mean, at the same time, that's a professional in his industry, and I'm sure the same methodology went into Hawthorn and Port Adelaide and the like. It just worked for them, and it just obviously hasn't worked for us. But it didn't sound good at all. I haven't listened to the whole interview, so I don't have the full context, but that clip didn't sound great. Yeah. It ain't over till it's over. That's true. It is not over till it's over. We're the only team that I watch that seems that they make it up as we go. Yeah, I guess. You know what I want to do? I would like to start with the press conference that we saw. I want to start with the Jacob Weering one. And I want to get your thoughts on how you took this presser. So this was Monday? The 13th. Today, it was Tuesday. This was Weeders on the Tuesday. And I want to get your take on what happened here and what was said, and if you take anything from it, if you believe what's being said. So let's do that.
Well, Jake, the medical ward is bulging. Can you give us your best Doc Larkins?
The medical ward's bulging. Give us your best Doc Larkins.
Maybe not my best Doc Larkins, but yeah, it's probably mounting up a little bit now. Don't have any details around the boys that were injured on the weekend, but provides a really good opportunity, I think, for a few of the younger boys. If anyone's been watching the VFL in the last couple of weeks, they've probably come a long way since the start of the season, and yeah, we've got some young boys that really want to, I guess, get a go, and there might be a few opportunities this week.
Does it feel like a sort of backs to the wall mentality has set in here in the last 48 hours, given the injuries and where you are now on the ladder?
Does it feel like it's backs against the wall?
I mean, there's an element of that. We're certainly, we've reviewed the Hawthorn game, and we're focusing on what's going to be a pretty tough contest against West Coast in Perth. But we've been in these situations before in recent years, and I think it's just a test of character and culture and values and the way we play the game. And I guess from the leaders down, it's certainly something that we're going to take with 2 hands and run with.
How was that review of the Hawthorn game?
Yeah, it was tough. Disappointing is probably the way to look at it. We looked in depth sort of at our first half. That was probably the best way to go about it, with, I guess, not making any excuses with injuries in the back half, but that probably compounded the hurt. And the second quarter, there was just a lot of things. From a team system point of view, certainly lost some connection. There wasn't a whole lot of communication, and there was some honest conversations about what we can do better as individuals, as Lions, and as a team. And it's certainly not the way we play our football. And I guess in a sense, we certainly let ourselves down, the fans, and we've got a massive opportunity to make it right this week.
That was nice to mention the fans.
Have you ever been a part of a game with like so much injury carnage?
Not to my memory, not that much injury carnage. And again, we had an opportunity. I think you look at the first couple of minutes of the second quarter, I think we had a few shots on goal. We didn't get it done, and they kicked 2 or 3 quick ones, and the avalanche happened from there. So it's one of those things. It's an uncontrollable. We can't go out there and manage those sorts of things as players. So just prepare the right way and cross fingers, I guess.
So it's not the first time that the sort of defence has been put on the agenda. I think Bossie's done it sort of twice. That the one area that was letting you down is defensively getting broken down. Do you feel like now there's enough time to rectify that? And is it good enough to stack up in September if you can get there?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a fair assessment. Certainly in recent weeks, hasn't been up to standard. And we've probably been leaking. If you're going to leak 100 points a game, it's more than likely you're probably going to lose. And we certainly had a great sort of 4 or 5 week patch during the year where we're keeping teams to under 75 points and getting the job done. So we know we can do it as a team and as a defence. And it's not just sort of the 6 guys in D50. It's the guys up the field as well. So we've got to go back to pressure and contest, and we've talked about our identity being that. We just haven't been consistent throughout games, which has been, as I said, disappointing, but certainly controllable for us.
Obviously, your opposition plays into that. Teams are allowed to be good against you, but have you put a finger on why your sort of part of the bargain has dropped away when you talk about that overall pressure?
Have you identified why our side of the bargain has dropped off when it comes to pressure and contest? It's actually a great question.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mixture of things, and certainly the opposition, you've got to pay respect to the way Hawthorn play the game. Incredible transition team. We're considered a pretty good turnover team on paper. I think we're quite good in that regard. But they were able to sort of carve us up through the middle. And again, in the second half, we were just leaking too many goals, and it was through a number of avenues, whether it was stoppage, whether it was turnover, whether it was just not quick enough reaction and communicating, connecting with each other. So, it's one of those things that we've reviewed quite hard today, and players, I guess, today's day and age, we've got to be able to move on pretty quickly from those sorts of things. And we'll get to work tomorrow, training Friday as well, and the boys will get up on Saturday, and I'm sure we'll be ready to go Sunday.
How do you account for the change in defensively? I think last year the top 4 or 5 in terms of points conceded. This year, probably bottom 5 or 6 throughout the whole
Question is, how do you account for the change defensively?
year. I mean, what's changed? Is it a system issue? Have you?
Is it a system issue?
Scoring more, which then leads to.
Are you scoring more, which leads to less defence?
Yeah, I mean, statistically, I think last year we've sort of done a bit of a flip. We were quite good at defending stoppages and not so good at defending turnover, and we flipped it this year. And as you said, points conceded probably isn't good enough, bottom 6. And can't put a finger on, I guess, one thing. I will say that consistency is something this club and our defence has been looking for a long period of time. And it's been frustrating, certainly. As a key defender, you want to go out there and do your job to the best of your ability. And unfortunately, as a team, we're just not getting it done. So it's just one of those things.
Is it a good time for an away jacket to bring the boys together, a bit of adversity, get away to Perth and try and do a job?
I think it's certainly an element of.
Question was around, is it good to be going away, getting the group together and going away?
I think we've all been in Melbourne long enough to know it hasn't been the greatest of winters. So to get a little bit of sun.
I mean, it was pretty sunny on Sunday, but
change of scenery would be good. Travelling is certainly something that I think we've had good success in recent times. They've sort of been not milestone games, but we've gone up in recent years and beaten teams in Perth, beaten teams in Adelaide and Sydney. So hopefully we can sort of put that on the table against a side that's going pretty well themselves, and they'll be looking to, I guess, finish their year on a high as well. So it'll be a good challenge.
Is it beneficial or is there any value in sort of building it up as almost like an elimination final, sort of do or die situation?
Is it beneficial building it up as a do or die elimination final? Great question.
Can get you on edge.
I'd hope that most games probably feel like that. It's a privilege to go out and wear the jumper and play an AFL game, and I think at times there's an element of gratitude. I think you've got to understand that we get to go out and do what we do, and that's for the fans, that's for our family, and I think this week,
Second mention of the fans. I don't mind it.
like any other week, we'll be going out to do a job for everyone, and hopefully we can get the 4 points.
Charlie Curnow looked like he was cooked when he limped off the ground. Is he a chance to get up? Can you give us any intel there?
Is Charlie Curnow a chance to get up?
No intel in terms of injuries based on the game. I think today the injury report will come out at 5. Review day today. Most of them would have got assessed or some scans over the last 24 hours. So knowing Charlie and knowing the rest of the crew, they'll do their absolute best to either get out there this week or prepare and get back as soon as possible.
What about leading in? How sore has he been? Because it looked really innocuous from the cheap seats. Has he been struggling with it for a number of weeks?
Has he been struggling with it for a number of weeks? Now, that's a little bit of a weird question because we know he has.
I mean, I won't take away from his injury, I guess, but most players would probably admit to some sort of soreness or injury that they're dealing with. And Charlie, as we know, 2-time Coleman medalist, is an unbelievable player and does his, when he kicks a goal, you see the size of his bicep. So he's a pretty...
He was doing well.
Pretty amazing athlete, and his preparation recovery is some of the best at the club. So for him to go out there and put his hand up and say, I'm going to get a job done today, then you've got to back him in to do it.
And I know you've been playing with soreness yourself. I heard you talking about it on the radio for a good part of the year. While finals are still a big chance for you, is it still all hands on deck? There'd be no thought of resting players or putting anyone away for the future?
No, I'll be there on the last line this week and the next, I'm sure. So it's just, it's one of those things. They're uncontrollables. If I'm getting a knee to the quad again, it's just something that I can't control. I'll put the mattress on and try and defend against that. But boys, as I said, are doing their utmost. It's a tough part of the year, I guess, that June, July period. It's cold. You've got to get up and recover and go again in this Melbourne weather. But, we've got 45 blokes on the list, and we've had that next man up mentality for a long time now. And said earlier, provides a great opportunity for a young bloke to come up and do a job.
Do you talk about finals at all?
Do you talk about finals at all?
Talk about having sat sort of top 4 for the majority of the year, and now
Do you talk about having sat top 4 for the majority of the year and
looking at the outside,
now looking at the outside?
being at ninth?
Being at
as a
ninth.
playing group, do you discuss what needs to be done?
Do you discuss what needs to be done?
How do you feel personally about
And how do you feel
making it and missing it?
personally about
we're not
making it and missing it?
naive to the fact it's the biggest part of our game, September. So it's a goal of everyone on the list, and I'm sure everyone in the AFL to play in September. But for us, we've got a job to do this week. So what's happened has happened. 3 years ago, we were probably in a similar position early on in the season and didn't get it done against Collingwood in that last round. And last year, everyone was, saying blow the place up again, and they were calling for Vossi's head halfway through, and
I don't mind that. That's real.
everyone sort of saw what happened. So our best is certainly good enough.
I don't mind that. That's real talk. That's not scripted. That's good stuff there. Say it. That's exactly how it is.
If we play the right way, play with our identity and pressure and contest, and we've got to get a job.
That's a win. I'm going to play that again. I liked that.
Goal of everyone on the list, and I'm sure everyone in the AFL to play in September. But for us, we've got a job to do this week. So what's happened has happened. 3 years ago, we were probably in a similar position early on in the season and didn't get it done against Collingwood in that last round. And last year, everyone was, saying blow the place up again, and they were calling for Vossi's head halfway through, and everyone sort of saw what happened. So our best is certainly good enough if we play the right way, play with our identity and pressure and contest, and we've got to get a job done this week. Simple.
Only 6 weeks ago, you were 6 points clear, second of the ladder. Has there been any element of players maybe taking the eye off what's happening now?
I don't mind that eye contact there. He said you were top 2 6 weeks ago. Let me play that again.
play the right way, play with our identity and
Look at his eye contact to the journo who asks him the question about taking your eyes off the prize.
pressure and contest. And yeah, we've got to get a job done this week. Simple.
Only 6 weeks ago, you're 6 points clear, second of the ladder. Has there been any element of players maybe taking the eye off what's happening now and
Woo!
casting their visions too far ahead?
I'm going to sound like a broken record, but as players, and maybe it is lessons learned for maybe a few of the younger guys, and I'm sure teams are probably learning that lesson now. You can't worry about what happens in the past or look too far in the future about the outcome. You've got to worry about the process, and Vossi's been preaching that for a long time, and we'll go back to process this week and get a job done, I'm sure.
Is there ever just as a human, there's a sense of disbelief, like when you're sort of sitting at home watching?
There's like a third question about the same thing. So the question is, as a human, do you sit there in disbelief?
You sort of think, how the hell are we ninth all of a sudden?
How the hell are we ninth all of a sudden?
I mean, that's an understandable reaction. Do you ever sit there and just ponder that?
I think Sundays post-game are probably for that sort of reflection. Naturally, there are a lot of thoughts that go through your head as a player, and I'm sure Bossy and the other leaders and players are doing the exact same thing. But the sun comes up, we get to do what we do, and
The sun will come up tomorrow.
I mean, I get to go out tomorrow, train well, do the same Friday, and as I said, we've got to get a job done this week, and boys are up for the challenge.
What was the mood after the game? Because it's not
What was the mood after the game? Okay, these questions are getting very repetitive now.
often you lose by that big a margin with the injury carnage and then falling out of the eight as well. I mean, it's a rare
Like for the last 2 minutes, this is actually a pretty long press conference, but yeah, these are getting repetitive now.
combination.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you've got to put perspective on it pretty quickly. We were, planning initially to catch up as a group and have partners and families anyway back here for some recovery, and that's what we did. So you can sort of chew the fat a little bit and talk about the game and what happened and what we could have done a little bit better. And then sort of what I alluded to before with the Sunday conversation with yourself, your self-reflection, and then you just get back into, the preparation for this week.
As a leader, are you confident that the confidence, wider confidence, hasn't been shaken too much, and you
As a leader, are you confident that the wider confidence hasn't been shaken too much?
can get back into it and rally again?
I mean, I think I sort of said not to look too far in the past, but at the same time, you've got to sort of understand how far we've come as a club, and that's something that we can take great confidence from. And I do like to not reminisce, that's probably the wrong word, but look back at sort of my time at the club and played in a 2-win side in 2018. I've had 3 head coaches in my time here, 9 years at the club, and especially in the last 3 years, what we've been able to build from a club on field and off field, the stability that we've been able to form, leadership top down from Luke Sayers, Brian Cook, Brad Lloyd, and obviously Vossi coming in and doing a job for us. It's exciting times for us, and sometimes you can lose that a little bit in the heat of the moment. And when you're losing games, it's never fun. And we've just got to get back to what really matters, and that's the process, and the wins will come.
You know what? My first reaction to that, because I watched his interview with David Rees-Jones on 360, and I felt last week so robotic and generic, and that's fine because he's on 360. I watched that interview and I thought most of that was a good thing to hear. Most of that was honesty. They're never going to give you full openness. We were shit. We were crap. That, some people think that they want to hear because the journos are there to get a headline. So you got to deflect. You got to sort of balance between trying to give them that headline and give them some sensationalist grab, like Jacob Weering doesn't believe in his leadership group anymore, because that can happen very quickly. And also have a level of, honesty about the situation for your fans to take from that, because we're all sitting here watching, word by word. So yeah. But what did you think? What did you think? That man is our next captain. Joel Embiid ass process. It is definitely Philadelphia 76ers-esque. Slobbo, I have watched Lee Montagna's take on 360 about our defense. Yeah, the behind the goal footage is just a breakdown in communication and a breakdown in care factor. And I think also what it shows is how little the margin is that you need to be off for you to create holes around the ground to be exploited. Like we're talking like half a meter. That's the most fascinating part. But I guess because the group had found the focus, found the concentration, we're doing all those little things right. Now we're seeing them not do those little things as well as what they were. It's just so different and so obvious. Spoke to one of our coaches today. He told me that the players couldn't run and spread because of only having one rotation after halftime. Yeah, look, I think we all know after I think most of us understand that the injuries compounded how bad it was. No doubt about it. We were never winning that game coming back from that, and it was very difficult in the second half. I think most, if not all, the frustration is the way that we entered the game before any injury happened. And the approach on the field, I think we were all watching it. We battled a bit for a quarter, but those holes in the ground were there first half. So I actually think there is an understanding of the second half being injury riddled. I think my guess is that, but the way in which they approached it, and therefore it leads me to believe the way in which they prepared off an 8-day break was just miles away from where it needed to be, or inches away from where it needed to be. And all you need is to be inches away. It's good they feel the pressure. Well, it is important. It is important because you had, a request for your fans to show up and be there, which they were. And we've been there all year. So that was tough. Even Vossi said he had to look at the game in two halves. Yeah, and you do. You definitely do. Danny, we lost the game at halftime. I reckon we lost the game before halftime. Personally, I reckon a 74-point loss might have been a 27 to 28-point loss instead. But when you have 19 tackles in the first half, that's just not it. Said to my partner, Cripps look wiped out running through the banner. I saw that a little bit too. It was so weird. Yeah. Haircut Terry's giving me Hoodie Mellow vibes. Baggers by 1 point. I wish more people see it the same way. I had the alarm bells going 10 minutes into the game. Yeah, I mean, mate, I've been a full believer in everything until last week. Yeah. I just was so accepting that there would be a form dip. And I saw the rest of the league have the form dip that were at the top, including Sydney. And unfortunately, Carlton just hasn't been able to find itself again. But seemingly every other team at the top that had their form dip has found themselves. So we'll see. The Hawks had us at the first bounce. Yeah, well, you saw the way they kicked their first few goals. Yeah. The way I look at it is we were smashed in the second. Injuries robbed us of a genuine chance to recover. Yeah, that's fair. We already lost Martin and Fogg early. We lost them halfway through the first, I think it was. Yeah. Have to get more performance-based contracts. This get paid win or lose is hopeless. Walter, well, you're here every week, bro. Like every single week. The least you could do is subscribe while you're here. We can make finals. Can't make finals yet, but we can make it. See what happens. Let this be the fortnight we rectify our form dip. Well, yeah. Eleanor, you feel they've lost their way since TDK went out? Haven't looked good since then? Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think Pito hasn't looked the same since TDK went out. It's like he's more motivated when TDK is available because he struggles to get a game. And there is also the reality that he's got the bung hand. He had the pins in his hand. He had the surgery. That's probably impacting him as well. But yeah, Harry had a chance to really hurt Weddle, but pulled out. Martin kills Fogarty just the way it is. Yes, indeed. They knew they were going to run rings around us. Yeah. So I guess we're not over it. I guess we're not ready to move on from it. Ashton Moyer. Ashton Moyer. Apparently Ashton Moyer is going to be named. It's going to be exciting. Hopefully he is. I want to watch one more bit of footage. I want to watch some highlights. A very thank you to Up the Baggers who uploads this onto Twitter, which makes it easy to share here. But I want to show you a bit of Cooper Lord highlight action. Let's take a look.
Quicks between a couple of cats, gets it out. Durden evades the tackle, ducks ahead, gives it to Lord, chips it to McMahon.
He's touched probably by his teammate there, and Brisbane are away, going through half forward, and he's probably stripped there. It turns it over. Carlton going to come forward again, Lord, and finds Lemmy.
3 goals for him.
How good is it seeing a player lower their eyes and kick to a forward leading at the football?
It's an awkward right football, mongrel inside 50, but to extend the margin out to a game high 84. Big right football is straight. Under siege, the Magpies right now. Hand pass comes out. The snapback goal from Lord. It's 5 in a row.
The back, will he take Buslinger on for speed? Brings it back inside to a dangerous spot. Motlock to work his magic. Paddles it to Lord. Inside a goal again.
In general play in the first quarter and fell backwards.
Lord's kick, has it got the penetration to get to wide? It does. And once again, we're going to see a highly efficient Carlton outfit.
Last week, I'm not surprised. Richards, though, this time grabs it out of the ruck. Couldn't get the kick away. That'll be holding the ball. The new
Might still work for the Tigers. Hayes Brown loses his footing and is pounced upon. Garner wrapped up. And there's
Love a good second effort. Oh, they're sucking me in again.
McMahon. We've spoken about the fine season he's having. Quick play on. Opening goal, Blues.
Exactly at full speed on the outer wing at the moment is Wilson, who is just
through. Good tackle from Binns. Just got the hand pass away. Lake brought to ground by Lord. Ma slung in a 7-20 almost. Got it out to Lord. The debutant for the Blues kicks inside the 50 and Levy. At ground level. Dawson almost picked the ball up. Here's White with the hand pass to Ramshaw. And now Ma, as they look to traverse through the corridor. Ma slipped the tackle like an eel. Gives it off to Ramshaw. Now Lord has got plenty of space. Feeds it off. Moyer, 52 metres out. Spearing kick inside the 50.
That's a great kick.
Lake was running by, waiting for it, but that wasn't the option utilised. Maybe it should have been Lord on the overlap. Chance for the Blues now on the counter-attack. This is Lockie Young. Trying to atone for his earlier mistake. Well done from Lord. The poise and composure there was superb. Just slipped a couple of whippy tacklers.
Ball goes spinning back into play. Fort reached over and got that one. Carroll picks it up. In fact, it was a Lord through a chain of handballs has worked their way out. It's Lord going forward, finding Carl. Ned Carl, he's had 2 behinds already. He's going to chip it over, handball it over. And Carlton have worked this out nicely, and Lemmy takes it.
I mean, Lord to Lemmy is what I'm seeing a lot of in these highlights.
Good mark.
Murkov trying to get it to Ma, but get out here to Willis. He was tackled to the ground. And Harry Mackay as well. So they'll back him in for the long haul as Clark.
Rockets it towards Lord. Runs into O'Sullivan, who was a steep trade coming the other way.
Been a bit of a to and froing second quarter, that one. The Cats look to burst it open here, but the Blues get the first out the middle. Lord goes long with it. And a mark taken inside 50.
Not bad. Not bad. Oh, look who it is.
Hey, big guy. Only got 5 minutes before we go to a special event.
No, we got a date tonight, you and I.
Hey, we are. I mean, that's why I've got dressed up. Look, do you know what I mean?
You got a 10?
Well, mate, I've even got a pocket square, bro.
He put a square in his pocket. Square in his pocket.
Well, fucking disgrace. Do you know what I mean? You take the boy out of the council estate for 5 minutes. Look at him.
Have you got a 10? What's going on?
It's just because I broke my webcam. You are now using the $2,000 camera.
Oh dear, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. Yeah, look, mate, we're going on a date tonight. So we had a friend of the channel reach out during the week, Jamie, and he offered us tickets to Wicked. So you and I and our your other half, have got some friends coming with me. We're going to go watch Wicked tonight.
Mate, what a fucking disgrace. Hey, what a disgrace we are. Well, just fucking musicals. What is going on?
I wasn't going to dress up, but I mean, shit, I might have to put a blazer on now.
Well, darling, we are in the dress circle.
True, we are in the good seats.
Do you know what I mean? We're not hanging around with the common folk.
Oh no! Look at this. Look at what BA has turned into. Bunch of sellouts.
Oh mate, hey, do you know what I mean? We're about probably about 6 months away from totally selling out to a big Qatari firm, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? Doing it on a yacht.
You, me, and Stephen Cornelio.
So it's only a matter of time before Pom just totally sells out, innit? But I mean, there it is. Hey, maybe we can do a review.
A review of Wicked?
Yeah, something positive.
Well, you know what? We can tomorrow when the final team show comes out. We'll be live. I'll be live at least 4. So if you're around, we can do a review to the people on the show and how it went.
A review for the people. There's a double negative, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, Pominos, the voice of the people, the common man, going to a musical. There it is. Get out. I hate myself.
Night. Oh God. Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Fucking, I love that. It freaking Pom looks like an 80s insurance salesman. Do I? Do you know how bad it is? I went out and spent way too much money today on Mrs. Pom. Looks stunning, by the way. She's got a new dress, but do you know what colour this shirt is? This is when you know you've spent too much money. The salesperson sold it to me as it's mauve. The fuck is mauve?
Oh, no.
He's got a mauve t-shirt.
He's got a square in his pocket. No, it's going to be lovely. It is. You look great. It's going to be lovely. And we're going to have a good night. And really nice gesture from Jamie, who literally just wanted to say thanks to us for what we do. So that was just
big shout out the J-Dog.
Yeah, that was very, very kind. So,
do you know what I mean? Dion, Caden, I agree. It's purple to me as well, but evidently it's mauve. And this is called faux salmon.
Oh, no.
Like, the minute you start adding faux to anything, you know it's posh. Even though faux is the posh word for fake.
Yeah.
What is going on? Pom, what have you done?
Well, what do you think about Cooper Lord getting a gig? He's the one that you've really been talking about more than all of them. I know Binns gets a bit of a bit of talk about Binns comes every week from a lot of us, but I think Cooper Lord's the one that's been playing the system well.
Yeah, Cooper. I mean, he's a guy that's probably come in and just been plug and play, which is a huge advantage for a young lad. He's game, which I think is a big thing as well. He throws his body weight around. He's got the mullet. He looks like the kind of guy that carries the tyres out for his uncle on a dodgy cut shop. If you've got them in Australia who do dodgy things. So he looks like he's hard. He looks like he's a guy who's ready for combat, as it were. The rumours are Ashton. Ashton's probably, in my opinion, been the most improved kid in the VFL. He's a guy that's come in, lack of engine, work rate has been the question in his draft. He's played exclusively on the wing for 6 weeks and he's absolutely killed it. So by all accounts, he's really training hard. So that's it. And Harry Lemmy as well, if he does play, he's been named evidently in the extended squad. He's another one who's really taken on that. Probably the only player in the team that's been trained in a role that you can see him playing. In the terms of that, he's literally the foil to Liam McMahon. And they work kind of like Kennedy and Darling, which I would say is the one negative of Mackay and Kerner. One of them's not the foil. They're both quite big players. So that's going to be an interesting one because you saw it in that footage, Terry. You nailed it. Cooper Lord to Lemmy. That seems to be a common little thing. He really hits and reads Lemmy's play pretty well. He's really learnt that lead he does. So could be a big one, that.
Matt Anderson, I think I'm kind of with you. Is Lemmy a must, or is it too simple to say that? Is it just as simply as put McGovern or Kemp or Cripps forward instead? Like, is it not just that obvious that Lemmy should play, or is there a little bit more nuance to this, and it would be doing him a disservice to play him?
I mean, my opinion always stands the same about all these boys. Once you're on an AFL list, you've signed up to be ready when called upon.
Right.
I can't think of a better game to debut. Can you imagine being a young lad now? Probably, I'd say everyone who's named today, with the exception of Cooper Lord, 6 months too early, if I'm totally honest. But with opportunity comes a chance. Like, if I'm Harry Lemmy, Carlton keep flirting with that third toe. I'm saying, I come in today and I show Vossi that you can play a 3-toe system. I'm your man, baby. Ashton Moyer, he's been patient and patient and patient. We need Jack Martin. Jack Martin's constantly getting injured. Here's your chance. And I know a lot about Ashton. The kid's one of them guys that when he wants to break in, he ain't wanting to break in for a token game. That's why he kept his head down and his arse up, working hard. I'm going to make a bold call. I think Ashton, if he plays, will have a big fucking game. I'm saying two goal game. I reckon he's that type of player. Friday Night Lights will turn him on, even though it's Sunday afternoon.
I saw a video of Ashton and Motlop doing a 90s quiz. And I saw, and it might have been, it probably was at the start of the year. So it was a 90s.
He's clever as well.
Well, more than that, his competitiveness to beat Motlop in the quiz was what stood out. I want to find it. Can someone find it?
No, I remember the one you were saying. I mean, I do think the thing about Ashton as well that really turns me on about him is playing the wing. Because do you remember there was a certain Mr. Liam Stocker who was drafted and his question mark was his engine?
Mm-hmm.
To put your hand up, play wing in VFL and literally expose your weakness, for me, says a lot about the kid. Like, he's just knuckled down and played footy. And end of the day, that's all you can ask.
Watch this. Watch how competitive he is. This is what I took from it, how competitive he is at this.
The World Wide Web introduced?
2003.
It's a
90s quiz. Oh.
The Dream Team won Olympics.
1992.
What was the best-selling video game console of the 1990s?
Sonic the Hedgehog. The Nintendo's. Nintendo. PS2.
But yeah.
Oh.
Who won the 1995 Norm Smith medal?
Greg Williams. Easy, bro. You gotta know your Carlton stuff.
What was the highest-grossing film of the 90s?
Titanic. That's a good one. Of course you know that. What are we looking at?
Lighthouse.
Love that. Doesn't know, takes a stab anyway.
Oh. Oliver Twist. Is that what you...
Round the Twist.
Oh, that's what I said.
No, you didn't. You said Oliver Twist.
Oh.
Mortal Kombat. No.
Hey. It was a
fighting game.
Street Fighter. Shouldn't have said fighting game. Sonic. I got it. No, I got that, bro. Pokemon.
Charizard.
Oh.
Youngie. That's what happens with the Youngie.
Bananas and pajamas.
Nah, play school.
Oh.
Believe it or not, Ashton has won the 90s quiz.
So there you go. That's what I took.
Mate, the best in the world don't like losing, do they? Like, that's a big thing. Don't like losing. You can see that kid there's got hunger. I'm very impressed, and Cooper's going to be sensational. I think Cooper's he's primed. Like, he looks like someone who isn't phased by this, and I think that's a big thing. You watch him, he's slotting, and I'm excited. I think this is the week. I'm quietly excited if we're giving 3 or 4 debuts this week off, even with Bins, a kid that has openly wanted to play. Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah. Absolutely. So it should be good. It should be good. I think, if anything, it maybe is just forcing us to do what maybe we should have done weeks ago. And that's what the footy gods are trying to get through to us.
Yeah, I mean, could be. I mean, I think the big thing is you've got to do it, haven't you? You've got to do it. You've got to do it. And let's be honest, last 6 weeks, the big names have been dog shit. So give it to a kid. Give it to a kid. Give it to someone who's hungry, who's competitive. And what a great way to make a debut. Do you know what I mean? You get 2 wins here and you sneak finals. You can say you've done that. Do you know what I mean? Game 2, beating St Kilda, you managed to pull Carlton out of a hole. That's a lot for confidence going in for the rest of your career, isn't it? A lot of confidence.
Absolutely. Especially knowing it might, if not probably will be, a wet game. So we will see. Yeah, 6:20 p.m. teams. So not far away. Not far away. There's another video that's popped up, and that is Elijah Hollands has done a little presser or something.
Yeah, we had a good look yesterday just through the game. Obviously, a disappointing result. But again, it's clear for us what we need to work on this week going into Sunday against the Eagles. And for us, it's got to start and finish that contest and pressure. We feel like that wasn't up to scratch on the weekend. And it's one that we want to make sure that we bring. And it's at the forefront of our minds coming into Sunday. So, for all the fans, that's something they can expect to see on Sunday. Just to bring some energy. Obviously, it's fantastic for Coop to get the nod. He's had a great run of form over the last few weeks and really ever since he's come into the club. So it's really exciting for him. And mate, it gives the boys a lift too. So we'll have a few other fresh faces, I'm sure, come in for Sunday. And we just ask that they bring some energy and the same thing and just play their role. So we'll get those for those boys and it's exciting. Yeah, look, as a whole, it's been fantastic, and I've loved the support of the fans, and being able to come down and play for this really famous footy club has been fantastic. The boys have gotten around me, the coaching staff and the rest of the staff and admin have been fantastic as well. So, look, I've loved it. I've loved the transition. We've got 2 more weeks to be able to rectify probably a bad 6 weeks, but we know across the whole of the season we've played some really good footy, and we look to bring that back over the next 2 weeks. Yeah, first hit at Optus, which will be good. But yeah, it's a good opportunity for the boys to be able to get away together and to spend some time together, obviously away from the club as well. So we're looking forward to that. We'll get, we'll be able to build some energy across the Saturday and Sunday, and then we'll be ready to go Sunday afternoon.
Two seconds in, contest and pressure. Lynch, come on, bruv. I'm your biggest fan, Lynch. Don't do this to me. But I will say this. Hated what he said. 100% hated it. Way too much energy words for me. Way too much contest and pressure. Way too much stuff that I've controlled C and controlled V all the time. But one thing I will say as a Lynch super fan, go back and watch Gold Coast interview when he was interviewed mid-season last year, right? Listen to him speak to now, the confidence levels, the matter of fact. I agree, Maz. He was a little bit upbeat and peppy. There was a big change in his persona from last year to now. So that holds me with hope that he's obviously confident in who he is. Because when I heard him speak at Gold Coast, he sounded really, really like nervous and felt like he was holding back. That felt like he was Elijah Hollands. So that's a confidence thing.
Look,
that's a confidence thing.
The energy is crucial. Them coming into that game on Sunday with energy is crucial. And it's not like he's not someone that hasn't performed. He has performed at a pretty high level all year, pretty consistently too. So, look, we just don't know. We'll see what happens. See what they dish up on Sunday. See if they come with the energy. See if they can lift their contest and pressure, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, and those in chat, like, you're reading into what I'm saying. I'm not saying I want him to be mopey. I just don't like buzzwords in sport. I don't like it. It's all well and good if you're peddling real estate and you're betraying your status, that's fine. But in sport, don't use buzzwords. Buzzwords aren't it. So I liked his energy. I felt he meant what he said. I really enjoyed it. I think he's peppy. One thing I can take out of it is just how confident he is, how confident he is in himself. And that excites me. As to what I want him to say, I don't like shit like it's probably been bad. I like my leaders to use matter-of-fact words everywhere I've worked, anyone beneath me. I don't want probably or anything you can say that you deflect responsibility. I'd rather him say, look, energy's really upbeat. Cooper Lauder's come in. That's given the boys a bit of a lift, which we're probably lacking at the moment. The last 6 weeks have been bad, and we're eager to get it to turn around and actually own it. When you use phrases like, it's probably been bad, has it fucking been bad, Lidge? It would be my question. Do you think 6 losses in a row is acceptable? Like,
it's like, is it probably or is it definitely?
Yeah. So do you know what I mean? I felt straight away my ear hears deflection. It's probably been bad. Probably didn't do it. Just say it. Like, what are you scared of? And I know the club is a little bit different, but I am happy. Obviously, what's ever happening at the club, Elijah Hollands looks like the draftee.
Yeah. He looks like he's thriving with his football, which is exactly where we wanted him to be.
Yeah, I mean, I was really worried about him. I remember watching it mid-season last year when they were talking about his form in the VFL, and he's kind of like like that. Like you could see he was like literally unconfident. There, his body language, chest out, real laconic the way he's holding the mic. He felt relaxed and felt at home. That excites me because that means he is who he is, and that means you can do amazing things. So that's really exciting.
Absolutely. Hey, Adam Joseph, Pocket Square King. Hey, Adam Joseph, thanks for putting up all these videos for us. Makes it so much easier to watch on this show.
And I agree, SG. It won 6 losses in a row, but it's been a pretty bad 6 weeks, hasn't it? I mean, all Pommy is asking, so important that we set a standard. Like if 5 wins out of 6 is acceptable in any line of work, sport, fuck me, we might as well give up, hey? Like, if the boys are offended by me saying, can you just please say the last 6 weeks have been bad? Fucking hell, I can find you 2 billion kids who will swap with the 40 players on the list. 2 billion kids will swap with them tomorrow. So, bit of ownership, man. That's all I'm asking. Don't think it's a big thing.
Got a question. Did you see danger signs in the last? Okay, go back before Collingwood. Did you see danger signs, or did you just think it was a form slump? And if so, when did it become more than just a form slump?
I've noticed from the review just before the GWS game, the game before the GWS game, Carlton started to sit back, which at the time didn't majorly concern me, but it was something I was thinking, like this is a stray from what you usually are and what you're about. And then you saw it get progressively worse. And then I think, the old school approach, isn't it? Momentum works both ways. When you're not confident, it starts to get progressively worse, doesn't it? So I do think it was inevitable once they started losing. You could see it start to affect them. So they've got to, you've just got to snap out of it, though. Momentum's a thing. Sport is a thing. Like, we can find as many excuses we want, but right now, coaching's not good enough. Tactics aren't good enough. And the application to them tactics and strategy is not good enough. And that's fine. Being not good enough means there's only one way to go, isn't there?
Yeah.
You get better if you care, and you get worse if you don't. So I'm confident in these boys that they'll turn it around. Like, they haven't got long left, though, so they've got to fucking do it in 2 days, 22 hours.
Yeah, that's very true.
And you know what? Tell you what, anyone out there who's ever owed money to nasty people, it's amazing when the sands of time start running out, your ability to find it. So there's no greater pressure than this. 2 days, 22 minutes. You literally are playing or losing everything. What a time to come in. What a time to come in. I'd be excited. Like, if I was a player now, this would turn me on.
Yeah, because this is the time where you can make a real name for yourself. I think if I think about Ashton, less about Cooper because I think he's been in the system a little bit. But Ashton and Binsey and Lemmy, for example, I don't mind where things are at right now, where they've had a full season. They've actually had ups and downs within themselves in the VFL. And now there's an opportunity potentially to come in. So I think they are never going to be as prepared as what they have than right now to come in. I actually do think it is the perfect team. No disrespect to the Eagles, but this would be a different conversation if we're playing Brisbane at the Gabba, for example.
Amen. And you know what? A team that's up and about themselves. Like you look at the Eagles, they've sacked a coach, 2 wins in a row, 2 out of 5, Blues 1 out of 5. They're going to be looking at us in the way we used to look at teams 3-4 years ago. If we can just knock these fuckers off, get a little bit of hope, get something going, we're knocking off a top 8 side here. So that's a huge incentive for them. So they're going to come out here knowing Carlton are vulnerable. And Weddle said it himself. 4th quarter work rate, piss. I said it in my preview. Loads of Hawks have messaged me. Put a bit of pressure around the ball, ask Carlton the question. They will deliver you no answers. They know what to do. They're going to come and hunt Carlton. Boys are going to have to go out there and hunt back. So I think this is a perfect opportunity. And you know, one person I want to give a bit of kudos to, Jackson Binns. I've been hard on him. And let's be honest, his last 8 weeks, probably 2 of them weeks have been good. The other 6 weeks, he's been a bit laconic, in my opinion, in VFL, albeit playing half forward. This is a Matt Connolly game for me. This is a Matt Cottrell game for him when he came in. Come in and, you know what, explode. If he plays half forward, he's given license to do it. I'm very confident in Binns. We'll take it. And we'll go forward and have a big game.
Him in particular, because he's obviously had a great season in the VFL, like really, really high level, would probably be leading the BNF, if not definitely leading the BNF count. But yeah, and there's probably a bit of frustration within him as well, bit of anger, bit of emotion. And, you know, I'm a bit surprised that they haven't released information about any other potential debutants, unless they're just going to do it with the 6:20 announcement and then over the next 24 hours they make their videos or whatever it's going to be. Like, do you think everyone knows who's playing today, or do you genuinely think that they'll only know tomorrow?
I think they'll know. I think they know. I think there's an element of feel good. They're trying to create the energy, which I'm not against. I'm going to be totally a caveat. I'm not against feel good energy. If the feel good energy is in the realms of today and we're not going back to 1945, I'm happy. I'm happy. If the feel good energy, they want some good PR and you're doing it every week, Harry Lemmy tomorrow, Ashton Moyer on a Friday, I don't mind. Because that's current. We can control that. So for me, the big thing this week and the message I'll be saying to the boys is he's hurt. When you're on a roll, hurt them. So you look at our 4th quarters. The biggest lie stat in the AFL at the moment is Carlton's 4th quarters, currently 5th in the league. But they're the only team that has nearly half where they've been behind. Where they've been behind. And that is a testament of a team that is out of form, that throws the shackles down, changes its game plan to either make the score look safer or, heaven forbid, try and take a little bit of the criticism off. I would much rather Carlton go back to the earlier season where the 3rd quarters where Carlton were trying to kill the game and ice the game and set that standard. So this week, they've got to come out and go hard. And you know what? Young kids, invariably, don't they, Terry? They do it.
Well, fresh energy does it. And when you're going to get a couple of them, like Cooper Lord, I'm actually really excited about. Like genuinely, like really excited about watching him get after it, because I think look at who he's going to be next to, and who's going to guide him out there. You've got Hewitt, you've got Cripps, you've got Kennedy, and these types, and they're all tight. The forward line is probably where I would have a bit of concern. Like let's just say Lemmy was to play. Who's the leader in the forward line on the field, which leads me to think that that's why Fantasia might have to play. Because who's the senior experienced head that's going to be communicating in the forward line this week? I'm trying to put it together.
It's probably Raz. It's probably Raz, like you say. I'd imagine Zach Williams has been there and done it as well. Do you know what I mean? You're looking at Owies, a guy that who the Carlton trust to their kids, trust the young players. We know Monaghan and co are all under his guidance. I look at it this way. I think Harry and Charlie sometimes are a negative when we're playing like we do the last 6 weeks, because the instinct is just kick it there, kick it there, kick it there, kick it there, hope you do something magical. Right now, they're going to have to make sure them entries are being looked at. They're going to make sure that ball comes in precise. You can't just get away with it. And I think Mackay, when he's in form, Kerno, they can make some of Walsh's dump kicks look amazing. It's going to force them for 2 weeks without Harry and Charlie to really lock in. And I think that could be a positive should we play finals.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That they're going to have 2 weeks where we've got to make sure we hit targets. And sometimes to miss what you've got to lose it. And I think maybe they've been kissed on the dick for 2 years, that they have got 2 blokes that can just make magical things happen regardless of the trash you serve them. So I'm excited about that. I really am excited about that.
I'm excited for a shit fight. That's what I'm excited for. I'm not going into Sunday thinking by any means that we're going to win by a lot or that we can win by a lot, to be honest. I'm hoping just for a W.
Do you want a bit of a POM start? We'll play a game.
Give me
I've just brought it up till now.
Yeah.
Right, so what I meant about quarter fours, because I've seen Kingy preach about quarter fours about Carlton. How many quarter fours in 2018? How less? So we're on 12 at the moment. How many quarter fours do you think we run up to this point, 2018?
Well, wait. Up until this point today, this year, we've won 12 fourth quarters.
2018, same stage. How many fourth quarters do we win?
None.
8.
Oh.
So the fourth quarter start, why they always say the Premiership quarter is the third quarter start, is the fourth quarter quite often when you look at who wins them, shit team. So it's because the top teams put the queue in the rack, they're resting players, or what has happened is they're pushing. They're trying to just get something for next week, finish the game to start the next game strong. So it's one of the most warped starts. The third quarter, genuinely, if you want a quarter that's important, third quarter genuinely tells you a lot about what a team is psychologically wise, because that's the quarter that you try and kill all hope.
Kill the hope. Interesting. We've won 7 quarters out of our last 23 played. Think about it. Yeah. Samuel, 620, mate. I feel like someone's playing a game in the chat. Like, how many times?
I'd get Matthew to check that stat. Currently, I'm just on Champions Data. Carlton this year, 12 out of 21 quarters. So 12 quarters won out of 21.
Yeah.
I think that might be 7 if you take away the first 6, because here we've won 2 of the last 6.
Dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had.
It's quite sad, but what I mean, that's the thing. When you, like you say, fourth quarter, you've lost the game. How many times you see it? Like the Collingwood game, I think we all agree the Collingwood game flattered us score-wise. Yeah. Last week, I would actually say last week flattered us with the fact that we had nearly a whole player's rotation missing compared for total game. You've got to do the damage. By the top teams, you look at Sydney, you look at teams like that, they've done the damage second quarter, and they've put a wall between their opposition. And we invariably don't do that. Yeah,
definitely. Definitely. Hey, do you want to play a little game?
I will do. I'm going to go and get
you better go.
ready because we've got a 45-minute drive. So
Oh,
I will
true.
see you tonight. You know what? If they name Lemmy and Moya, I might treat you all, and I'll wear the suit tomorrow.
All right. Mate, see you at the Regent Theatre at 7:30 p.m.
Mate, look forward to it. Look after yourselves, everyone. Be kind to each other, and let's go and fucking beat these Eagles.
See you, mate. All right. We are 15 minutes away from teams. I found this footy grid that I think we could do. Carlton themed footy grid. We want to have as rare of a score as we possibly can. So I think what we want to do is we want to start here. Top left square. Do you know anybody who's kicked 5 or more goals in a game that played in the 2000? Play the Nivea ad. Not a big fan of the ads. 5 goals or more in a game. Oh, okay. Beaumont kicked. Okay. Ooh, Beaumont might be a good one, you know. Kerridge, did he play in the 2000s? Oof. Fev, Goods, Beaumont. I think Beaumont's a nice rare one. Simon Beaumont. Great guess. Anything under 1% is really what we're looking for. That's great. Let's do someone who won a club best and fairest from 1980 onwards, who also played in the 2000s. Okay. Did Andrew Carrazzo ever win a Carlton best and fairest? David Teague. Teague, Carrazzo. Did Carrazzo win a BNF? He did? Teague's actually a good shout too. All right, I'm going to go with Teague. Yep, that's solid. Okay, and then we want a one club player who played in the 2000s. A one club player who played in the 2000s. Well, Andrew Carrazzo was a one. No, he got drafted maybe to Geelong. Bootsma. And Christo. You know what? That's actually not. Did he play in the 2000s? He did. All right. It's Ange. It's a great guess, Paul. It's a great guess. 0.31%. All right. Now we got Carlton related. So someone who Michael Voss has coached who has kicked 5 or more goals in a game. Oh, God. They don't have to have played for Carlton. They could have played for Brisbane, for Vola. We need a rare one. Charlie, Harry, Jonathan Brown, Mitch McGovern. That's a good one. McGovern is a good one. I don't think many people would know that McGovern's kicked 5 in a game. 2.2%. That's a great guess. Someone who has been coached by Michael Voss that has won a club best and fairest. Oh, there's not many. Okay, Weering, Cripps. Someone coached by Michael Voss that has won a best and fairest for their club. Bradshaw, I don't think Orazio has won a best and fairest. Zorko, Weering, Luke Power. I don't think Luke Power was coached by Vossi. Jack Crisp. Oh, that's not a bad shout. Did Jack Crisp win a best? I don't think he won a club BNF though. Nick Newman has also not won a club BNF. Stefan Martin. Oh, just a joke. Yeah, it's very hard for me to tell. Rockcliffe, Zorko, Doherty. Oh, yeah, Doherty has won a Club BNF. Paddy Ryder, I'm telling you, 2017. When did he coach Paddy Ryder? Michael Riscatelli. Oh, yeah. That would have been just before he went to Gold Coast. Michael Riscatelli. Not bad. 5.56. Pat Full. Oh, I can't change it. Can I? Oh, I can. Oh. Oh, so we can find even better options if we want. Unlimited guesses. Jack Crisp. Okay, now we're talking. Doesn't say head coach. Well, coached by. Okay, let's move along. Someone who Michael Voss head coached and was a one club player. Oof. Yeah, I didn't know you could change them either. This is Footy Grid. I didn't realize you could change them. Changed McGovern to Orazio. Oh yeah. Orazio. Well, he hasn't kicked 5 in a game. No, he hasn't. Plowman, one club player. He was a one club player. Lockie O'Brien, Josh Honey. Oh, I don't mind that, Honey. Did he play a game under Voss? Clearly. Corey Durden. See if that helps. No. Leicester. That's better. Josh Honey next. Okay. A Jacob Weering opponent who has kicked 5 or more goals in a game. Does that mean that Jacob had to have played directly on them? Yeah, Larky. Shuey? Has Shuey? Okay, let's just test that out. Because Shuey, I'm pretty sure he has kicked 5 in a game and Jacob's played against him. He has. It's a great guess. Who was that? Josh Holden. Why is it always the Holdens? I just love these quizzes. Okay, so it can be, doesn't have to be a direct opponent. It can be anyone. So a Jacob Weering opponent, so somebody who he's played against that won a club BNF. So Crisp would technically work here. Who's a random player that's won a BNF that Weitering's played against? Stefan Martin won a BNF at Brisbane. Let's try it. Stefan Martin. Oh, that's elite. We might have a score under 10. And then another one, Jacob Weitering opponent, someone who he's played against, who has been a one club player. Dane Beam, Shane Mumford. Darling. Hipwood, one club player, I guess. Cal Shadia. He's not here. Have I spelled his name wrong? Kalsha. Oh, they haven't got him uploaded. Hawkins, Prittis, Joe Richards, Luke Parker, Brett Harvey, Hipwood, Lachlan Sullivan. Luke, where is... They don't have it. I don't think they've got Lachlan. No. That's weird. Joe Richards, no. They haven't got this year's Jake King, Alex Rance, Angus Brayshaw, Nick Homan. Oof. There's too many options now. Jonas. Very good. Actually an elite score. There you go. Well done. That's a really good guess, Tom Jonas. All right. So 5 minutes. Teams are coming out in 5 minutes. Let's do... Who do we actually think's coming in? Lord? Moya? Orazio? Teams on 7. Great. Who's out for the Blues? Oh, mate, who isn't out for the Blues? Durden Young, Bins, acquires an emergency. Wait, is this official? Are you guys seeing the teams on TV right now? Read messages. I am reading messages. Too many names to see. Oh. In Lord, Moya, Orazio, Durden, Carroll, Bins. Oh, there's a few more. Lemmy, Lord, Moya, Young, Wilson, and Kemp. Okay. Channel 7 has Aquay as one of the names. Really? Really? So in about 3 or 4 minutes, the teams will be named, the extended teams. I'll get them up on screen. But for those of you who are watching at home, side is in. Okay, I'm looking. I saw Wilson in on 7. In Lord, Bins, Lemmy, Durden. Outside, Kerno, Boyd, Fogg, Mackay. Outs, Charlie, Harry, Sard, Martin, Boyd. That's official. Okay. They had about 10 names added and was too fast for me to write down. Okay. Water is in. Who's Water? They're in. Okay. Where are they? I'm on the website and the AFL website. Fog is out too. Yep. I'm basically just refreshing here on the website. We've got 2 minutes until the teams come out. And so we'll be able to see them visually here. But more so visually for anything, we can see if they're named on the field. Because there's going to be a cutoff tomorrow. Was Barris back for West Coast? Yeah, we'll see shortly. Oh, come on. Oh, also, Herbertron has uploaded a new video, which is very exciting. 9 ins. Favola named at full forward. Come on. We're almost there. We're less than 60 seconds away from teams coming on the screen here. What if I share my screen? How about I do that? So you can see what I'm seeing. Yeah, Herbertron's new video is out now. I'm so excited to watch it. 3 of the 9 ins are emergencies. Yeah. But I think seeing who's named on the field will give us a bit of an indication as who's definitely in. Young, Binns, Moya, Aquay, Lord, Lemmy Wilson, Durds, Carroll, all named. Okay. Yeah, I don't know who's being real and who's having fun. All right, it's 6:20. Come on. All I want to do is... Okay, here we go. Teams are in. Teams are in. This is us. New faces are plenty. The Blues have named 9 inclusions into a youthful-looking extended squad for the trip to Perth. 9 inclusions. With 3 players to come out of the squad, it means the Blues are guaranteed to have at least one more new face this weekend, with Dom McQuay, Harry Lemmy, Ashton Moyer, and Billy Wilson all named on the bench. That's not including Jackson Binns, who could also return to the lineup after playing 1 quarter as a sub back in round 7. Okay. Oh, mate. Where's the team? There it is. Okay. This is the team. That doesn't really look very clear for you, does it? Okay. I think that's a bit better for you all. Right? Is that easier to read? Like that. Okay. Sard, Mackay, Martin, Fogarty, Kerno, and Boyd injured. Young, Benz, Lord, Carroll, Durden, Lemmy, Wilson, Moya, Aquay in. Let's have a look. And so for the Eagles, they've not really named anyone yet. Oh, Jamie Cripps playing his 250th. Disgusting. Okay. Lewis Young named on the field. There's one. Otherwise, that backline is not so different. You've got Binns named here on the wing. There it is. You've got, well, Kennedy named at full forward. That's interesting. Then you've got Peter with Walsh and Hewitt. And then you've got Chincotta, Lord, Carroll, Durden, Lemmy, Wilson, Moya, Aquay. So the question is, which 4 of these 8 will be on the bench? Or which 5? 4 and a sub. Hard. Well, we know Lord's playing. So there's 1. So you've got to pick 3 out of the rest. Surely they're playing Harry Lemmy. Yeah, I don't know if Dom is ready to play. I actually also don't know if Billy's ready to play footy just yet, given who's still available here. Lord, Chincotta, you would have to assume Chincotta's playing, given his experienced. Moya, yeah. I think it'll be the first 5 names, potentially. Chincotta, Lord, Carroll, Durden, and Lemmy. I'd be surprised if this was really our forward line, with Kennedy at full forward and Elijah Hollands at centre half forward. No Barris? True. No Barris. I didn't think of that. I didn't even notice that. The Herbertron video. So Herbertron is an Essendon YouTube channel. Makes arguably the best cinematic content that I've seen on YouTube relating to footy. Just has a knack of putting the song and the music and the reference to the movie together. Brilliant. Made famous to me for the Carlton video that he did last year. You know what would be cool? We were talking about this last night with Ari. What if we put McGovern forward to play on his brother? Just for a bit of shits and gigs. It'll be very interesting. I think Moya will play. Okay. There you go. So I'm actually going to cut this stream a little short because I'm going on a date with Pommy and some friends. I'm going to go see Wicked. But tomorrow at 4 p.m, I will be back live here on the channel to give you a full review of Wicked, the musical. And also we're going to find out who the final teams will be. So that's that. But just for those who have just popped in, these are your teams for tomorrow. You've got Sard, Mackay, Martin, Boyd, Curnow, and Fogarty all out injured. And then they've named quite a number of potential debutants. Got Lewis Young, who's named on the field. Binns, who is also named on the field. Cooper Lord, who is named, and we know he's going to play because they've made the announcement. Jack Carroll, Corey Durden, Harry Lemmy, Billy Wilson, Ashton Moyer, Dom McQuay. Got to cut 4 of them, I think, 4 or 5 of them to fit a bench and a sub. So we're going to find out all about who's going to play tomorrow. 4 p.m. The show will be on, the team show. And then the final teams will be announced at 5 p.m. So come and hang out with us tomorrow from 4 p.m. and we'll go from there. Otherwise, have a good night. See you tomorrow. Go Blues.